video is about how to prepare for a prolonged shutdown. If you haven't already started preparing or panicked yet, maybe you should. This is not the nicest place to live here, but you know, it's a place, and a lot of people that maybe are living paycheck to paycheck might find themselves in a place like this, you know, with this stuff going on here. So you never know where you could end up. You know, they say, there I go, but for the grace of God, right? So I just came back from the supermarket, and it was Save a Lot, and I wasn't there for 2 weeks. And 2 weeks ago it was probably 90% full. Now it's like 70% full. So there's still, you know, everybody's buying soap, but there's still plenty of canned beans and stuff like that. So I don't know, people have strange priorities, I guess. But one thing that I noticed is that their credit card machine went down, and because of that, they said anybody who's paying with cash on this line and anybody who's paying by credit or debit has to wait to hopefully the machine goes back up. Well, because of that, there was a whole lot of people standing around waiting, hoping that the credit card machine went back up. And you know, this is not the first time I thought of this, but you know, what happens, a lot of people should give it some thought. What happens if the credit networks go down, the ATM network goes down, any of that kind of stuff? What are you going to do? Do you have cash in hand in your apartment? Not a debit card, you know, and thinking that you're just 2 blocks from the ATM machine, but do you have some actual cash in your house? Because you should in times like these. Another thing is, I did a video, 2 videos a few months back. One on why you should never collect stuff. Don't invest in collectibles, whether it's baseball cards, Beanie Babies, classic cars, figurines, any of that stuff, even collectible coins, because when the shit hits the fan, and you know, some would argue it's starting to now, all of those things that the people who sold them to you, and the price books and the eBay sellers and all this that tell you that, you know, these are limited edition, they're only going up in value, only one of 200 or some nonsense. Nobody cares about that right now. So no matter what kind of limited edition figurine, Beanie Baby you got, or Cabbage Patch doll, or anything, Star Wars, you know, nonsense, nobody cares, and nobody's going to be trading you you know, gasoline or food for some Star Wars nonsense or something like that. So if you haven't already gotten gold and silver and been stacking it up, now's not really the time for that, because the premiums are so high that you're better off just holding cash in your hand and hoping that this stuff blows over sooner rather than later. And another thing is that, so talking to friends who have safe deposit boxes, this is their experience. One went to their safe deposit box, and a few weeks ago, and then a week later they went again to get the rest of their stuff out because stuff was looking bad. And the lady at the the bank who was giving her the giving him the safe deposit box was like questioning him, saying, "Oh, you're here again? You know, why are you back so soon?" And he said, "I'm back so soon because if you guys close this bank branch, I can't get what's out of my box." And you know what she said? She said, we're not going to close. This branch is going to stay open. Well, guess what? That branch is closed. Same thing with another friend who went to his box, got his stuff out on like Thursday before the New York City announcement that they were shutting everything down except vital stuff like banks and whatever. And he got his stuff out on a Thursday. The announcement came on a Friday, and he went back to his bank on Saturday just to do some, regular banking business. And guess what? They were closed as well. They just had a sign saying, "Oh, please use this other branch on so-and-so street." Well, that's not going to help you if you have stuff in a safe deposit box. You can't go to another branch and get your stuff out of the safe deposit box. You have to go to the branch where your stuff is in. So if that's not a wake-up call for people, that if they have any valuables in a box or something like that, don't wait till all the banks are shut down and everything, and don't listen to all of their promises that everything's going to be okay and that they're going to keep everything open and all of that, because this stuff is changing day by day. So one day they say, yeah, everything's going to stay open. The next day they're like, no, only use ATMs. And guess what? A few days after that, they're going to say, hey, the limit on ATMs is $60, $100 a day, like they did in places like Greece and Cyprus. Don't think that's not coming. So like I tell everybody, he who panics first panics best. So if you have some money in the bank that you can take out in cash, do that now. And don't spend the cash until you need to. Even if you have to run up credit card bills in the meantime, if this thing goes on, I'd much rather run up a credit card bill, even if I have to pay interest, than spend the cash until you really need it, So that's my thoughts on some things to do to kind of mitigate the risk of this thing going on for a long time and really screwing up the economy, and to the point where we become like I wouldn't say a Mad Max scenario, but really, if all these things shut down and nobody's working and nobody's paying their rent and owners aren't paying their mortgages and banks are losing money on all the loans they make, and they're illiquid and insolvent is the word I was looking for. Things could get a lot worse before they get better. So if you have cash, keep it in your house. If you have gold and silver, coins, bars, whatever, keep it in your house. And don't expect that what the government's saying one day is what they're going to be saying the next day, because if you see what's happened in Italy, they went from just quarantine the cities to quarantine the whole country to shutting down banks to not even letting you go out at night even though there's nobody around. So things can change really quickly, really fast. Don't get caught in the middle. Don't be the last one to panic. Don't think that, oh, because my bank is open now, it'll be open next weekend and I could go get what's in my box later, or I can go get some money out of the ATM later when I really need it. Right now everything's fine. The credit card machines work and everything. I don't gotta worry. Well, guess what? If that goes down, everybody's going to worry at the same time. And you know, I'm not trying to cause a bank run or nothing like that, but you know, have a few $100s, a few $1,000s in cash in your house just in case, because if the supermarkets run out of food and you gotta buy stuff off some guy on Craigslist or gasoline or something like that, who knows, you know? So it's always better to have some cash like this in an emergency. And guess what, this is, you know, this is an official emergency now, so you have to be prepared. So that's my video on how to prepare for this. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.